Welcome back, everyone, to another installment of Morgan Dollar Mondays with Massabesic Gold and Silver. I'm Dean with Massabesic Gold and Silver, and today we're going to be considering the old soapbox A&A holders. Those really old annex holders. Well, before we get started into that, though, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications so you get up-to-date content from us, and remember to share our videos with folks that you think would enjoy them. So here we are looking at an 1882S in one of our old annex holders or A&A holders. I do like these holders, not necessarily for the numismatic historical kind of value. I just like the size of them. I like that they're kind of smaller. They're easier to store. I like that the coin is really the center of attention. I understand why the coin slabs changed over time, but I do like these smaller holders. I did purchase these three coins that we're going to be looking at today over a period of time, and I really did buy the coin, not the plastic. I bought this 1882S. Now this is a very common date. I did pay probably $25-$35 over the typical price for this coin, but just for those that don't really know how common this coin is, and as I read through these little statistics here, you try to grade this coin. You tell me what you think the grade is. But an MS63, PCGS has graded 22,563 of these. In MS64, they have graded 36,614. And then in MS65, they have graded 20,536 in those grades. Now, that's not including the other grades, and that's not including NGC or Annex or ICG or any other company that grades coins. So, as you can tell, this is a very common date for Morgan dollars, and that's okay. It's still fun to collect these. Like many people, the S Mint is definitely, the San Francisco Mint is sought after because it does have this beautiful luster. The strike overall seems fairly strong. The toning is light toning, nothing too fantastic, but at the same time, it's not a blast coin. And for those of you playing along, this is an MS64. Looking at it, I think it would probably grade up to an MS65 if I was to send that in. But who knows? We don't know. And I might actually do it, but I'm not really sure because most of the time they're more valuable in these old holders. The next one is a 1904 New Orleans Mint, so 1904O. I'm not going to lie, I really wish this was a 1904S. That would have been sweet, but hey, anyway. And just again, talking about those pop reports, this again is a very common coin. PCGS has graded in MS63 51,855. In MS64, 60,641, and in MS65 only 14,063. That's one of the reasons that I bought this coin, because there wasn't very many, or there hasn't been very many graded in MS65. And when I saw this, the beauty of the toning, this is actually some of my favorite kind of toning on a Morgan, especially on the reverse. We'll get there, but I just want to admire these cobalt blues along the edge of the rim. This is just some really nice natural toning. I know, again, not everybody's into toning, and I know that this is a fingerprint here on the neck and everything. But again, to me, I don't really mind that. I think it gives some beauty and some history to the coin. Obviously, yes, if it was really distracting, I wouldn't have purchased this. But I really think that this coin has a chance of maybe going up one grade. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know if I ever would try to cross it over. because again, most people they seem to want to find them in these old soapbox holders. But as I'm showing you here, I hope you can see there's very little marks, very little bag marks, especially in the fields. They really seem to be wide open. Even though that this is a New Orleans mint Morgan, the luster seems very beautiful. It just seems to have it. But again, I know they can be a little bit harder on these New Orleans mints, especially by that ear. You can see that it is very very weak. But again, I just think that the color on this coin has great eye appeal. And then on the reverse, of course, we have this nice, beautiful peripheral toning around the whole reverse with some beautiful, blues and aquas and kind of these goldish browns and oranges, and it just seems like a beautiful, beautiful coin. Even a little pink and red underneath the O. Again, there are quite a few more marks on the back. But it's just tough to say what the graders would decide on this. But to me, I think it's a beautiful coin. I paid a little bit more, obviously, because again, it's really the holder. And that was at a antique, well, not an antique shop. What would you call that? A flea market where they have little booths. And this was in one of the displays. So I purchased it, and I purchased a couple other coins from a gentleman, and I think he took 10% off. But anyway, I think it was worth it. Again, a beautiful coin, beautiful toning. But for those of you who are playing along, what do you think? Did you think it was going to be an MS64, or were you hoping for that 65? I think it would go up to the 65. I was to cross it over, but I will say that the hair by the ear is rather flat. But again, that's pretty normal with the 19040. Here is our last coin to look at. And for those of you looking at this, you might not realize, just looking at that flat ear there, you might think that this is another New Orleans, when in fact it is not. This is a Philadelphia, 1900 Philadelphia. Again, these are really beautiful. These are a little bit rarer than the other two coins that we looked at. Maybe rare is the wrong term, but just to compare to the other coins that we've looked at, in MS63, PCGS has only graded 13,563. In MS64, they've only graded 17,780. And in MS65, only 4,924. And MS66, only 927. So again, this is a little bit more, I don't know, rare or scarce is actually the wrong terms to use, I guess. But I guess pop report wise, there's less of these than the other two coins that we've looked at. Mintage wise, they have similar mintages. But again, I think there was 8 million some of these 1900s. And then the 19040, there was actually less minted. There was only 3,700,000 and some, but they obviously survived, in greater numbers and in more mint state condition. And then the 82S, there was actually 9 million some that were minted. This is really one of my favorites. I did purchase this on eBay from a seller on the North Shore of Massachusetts, a coin shop there, and I don't think I did bad. I think this is a weaker strike, and from what I have read, that's fairly common with the 1900 Philadelphia. But I just think that the luster is beautiful. There is just really, really wonderful toning on it as well. It seems very natural. And then very little marks. The cheek is relatively clean. I know there's a little fleck there near the eye, but again, very little. But the luster, especially pooling by her ear, that's really what you want to look for in those higher grades. I just think that this is just it's got a look to me of a higher grade Morgan. I don't know if you agree. Please put it in the comments. You feel free to tell me. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but to me this looks beautiful. But for some of you, you've probably looked at thousands of Morgans compared to me. I'm relatively new to collecting Morgans, probably about the last 3-4 years. I'm more of a small sense type of person. I've been collecting small sense for over a decade, and anyway, I just think that these three coins were beautiful. They were worth it. As you can see, MS65. I think it really would go for the MS66. Feel free to to contradict me or agree. I just think that one, I really think I want to send that 1900 in to get crossed over. Feel free to tell me if I'm an idiot because for wanting to do that. But I just think it's got the look. The other two, I think that they would maybe go up a grade, but I just think they're so common. What would really be the point? But the 1900, like I said, if to get it into the MS66, I think what I say that there was under 1,000 graded by PCGS in MS66. So I want to do a little bit more research on that one before I start, trying to cross things over, especially from an old soapbox. Because again, there's a whole niche of collectors who just love these old soapbox holders from the A&A, and they just really they really want these types of holders. Anyway, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and enjoy.